Hey guys, welcome to a new Delta Force video. I've been playing the alpha for more than 3 weeks now, and today I want to go into a few things that I think should be tweaked, improved, or completely changed in the game before its early access release later this year. And I've also asked around on Discord what you guys think about the alpha so far, and I also included your criticism here as well. So the first point for me personally, maybe that's more of a personal thing, is the translation, and there are still so many mistakes, from wrong operator names to wrong ability descriptions to mission translations that are often wrong and that cause a lot of confusion in the player base as well. And then we even have the wrong name for one of the modes, which is Tactical Turmoil instead of Hazard Operations. So there's definitely some work needed to get this straight. Then the second point is the netcode or server performance or whatever causes one frame deaths and dying behind cover, and the feeling that you get hit by one huge super bullet instead of the 10 or 15 bullets that the enemy player actually fired. But in the alpha, I'm not sure if this also has to do with high ping players on some servers, because the player count is still relatively low. So I'm not sure if it has something to do with a netcode issue or server performance or whatever, or if it's really mostly due to players coming from all kinds of regions and getting matched together. Then the third point, and I already made a full video about this, are bots being disguised as normal players. And I'm pretty sure that in your first matches you mainly play against AI before getting matched more and more with real players, but this AI cannot be identified, and that's what I think is a huge problem, because they have names that normal players have as well, and some of them even have names ending with TTV, showing that these may be Twitch streamers, but when you check them, they're not existing. So this definitely needs to be more transparent, and maybe even make a dedicated playlist for new players that specifically says in the description that you will play against AI, and if you don't want to do this, you can just ignore it and get right into normal matchmaking, but at least you know what you get, and I think this is really important. Then moving on to the gameplay mechanics, the controls of vehicles, especially those of helicopters, definitely need to be reworked. Ground vehicles feel very floaty sometimes, a bit more like toy cars instead of having the weight that they actually have and what they actually should feel like. And the helicopters, on the other hand, feel pretty clunky and react very slow to inputs. Additionally, I feel like the range of the helicopter weapons is too high, because they can easily sit on the map ceiling or far away from an objective, especially in the AD mode. This is a problem, and fire from distance without much of a projectile drop and basically out of range of every countermeasure. You can't hit them with the AA anymore, you can't lock onto them with the Stinger anymore, nothing. And it also doesn't seem like you can snipe players out of the helicopter, or maybe I just didn't get it done in the alpha. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below if you managed to do a snipe on a pilot or a gunner. So that would be cool to have as well. Then another 3 points for vehicles. First, when I'm getting into a vehicle as a passenger, when I'm getting in from the outside, please put me directly in the best possible seat, because right now when you get in, you end up being on a normal passenger seat, even though a gunner seat is available. So why not put me directly into that gunner seat, and I don't have to switch seats to become that gunner. It might not be that much of a problem on PC, because it's only a press of a button, but on consoles this will be really annoying, because you have to click through all of the seats one by one. Then the second point, when I'm using a lock-on weapon, no matter if this is a javelin or an air-to-ground missile in a heli, I don't want to lock onto empty vehicles. This is really annoying, especially since the system seems to prefer these empty vehicles. There were so many times when I wanted to log on to a tank on the ground from my heli, and instead it logged on to the empty quad next to it over and over again, and I had no chance to log on to that tank. I think that really needs some improvements. And last point for the vehicles, and that's also one that was pointed out on Discord a lot, please give us an option to change our vehicle loadouts during a match. I think this became more clear with the capture mode, because it's more vehicle focused, but right now when your vehicle is set up for anti-infantry, there's no way to change it to an anti-air or an anti-tank setup. But I think this would be important, because it makes it possible to adapt to changing situations on the battlefield, and we all know that these can change a lot. For the weapons, it was already confirmed that we will be able to edit our loadouts during a match and not only swap for loadouts like it is right now, but for vehicles this should be possible as well. Then another thing I found pretty annoying, or at least far too much, is the screen shake from nearby explosions, and I think this should be toned down a bit in general. But I also wish there would be a slider in the options to reduce it in addition to this, so everyone can adjust it the way they want to. In the alpha, I didn't find one, but please correct me if I'm wrong here, and there is one. Maybe I didn't find it. I also think that the movement and especially the vaulting needs some more attention, because it still feels a little bit clunky and sometimes you get stuck on a pebble or a smaller object, and vaulting itself also doesn't really work 100% reliable all the time. So I think this should be tweaked a little. And one thing that was really annoying when playing as a medic, and I played as a medic a lot because it's my favorite class, was that when reviving someone, your soldier always tries to get into the same position and on the same side. So when you're sitting behind cover and try to revive someone who is right in front of you, the soldier steps on the other side of the downed player out of cover to do the revive. And I think they should be possible from every side and also when prone. So it's not getting into the same revive animation all the time, no matter which position you have. And then lastly, please simplify that UI. It's such a pain to click through the submenu of the submenu of the submenu to find an information or to get to the mission overview. And talking about it, I would also love to see an overview of the missions while I'm in a match, so I can keep track of what I have completed already and what not. Or at least give us the option to select maybe 5 missions we want to see during a match, like Apex Legends does, for example, with a tracking feature. I would also like to have an option to switch squads in Havoc Warfare, of course, so it wouldn't make any sense in Hazard Operations, because sometimes your squad is not really working well with you, and then maybe you want to find another squad of players that works better for you and your playstyle. And I also would like to join a friend who is already in a match right from the start screen and not wait for him to finish the match, which can take about 20 to 30 minutes, and then send him the request to join the squad or the other way around and then play with him. And 2 more things that I think are not necessary, also UI related. First of all, the operator selection before the match starts into Havoc Warfare is not really necessary, and I think it could be removed. I know it's necessary in Hazard Operations, but in Havoc Warfare it just doesn't make any sense, because you will select the operator anyhow before you spawn in. And a little bit connected to this, and my last point for this video, please remove the forced spawns at the start of a round. This is so annoying when you want to play a different operator or a loadout, or you're not pretty sure what loadout you want to play and so on, but then you get spawned in automatically and you have to redeploy simply because you want to select something else. And yeah, that was it for today. Tell me in the comments below what you think should be tweaked, improved, changed in Delta Force and that was not on the list so far. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see more of this, leave a like and subscribe. Until then, thanks for watching. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.